Hello, hi everyone, how are you going? Welcome to day 2 of the cleanse reboot. So this was going to be a 2-day cleanse reboot, but I'm actually making it into a little bit of a longer series. Reason being is I was deciding today what I wanted to say to you about cleansing, and we were going to cover the liver, we were going to cover the bowel, we were going to cover the kidneys and the gallbladder, and I just thought, whoa, that's way too much information for one FaceTime, Facebook Live. So I thought what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it up. So yesterday was day 1. I talked about symptoms to look out for. I talked about, where to start and focus on your lymphatic system. Get your lymphatic system moving. Really focus there. Focus on your skin. Focus on all the externals. And today I'm going to focus on kidneys. And then I'm actually going to do some separate Facebook Lives on liver, gallbladder and the bowel, so you can get a real in-depth understanding of how you can cleanse each one of those. And how I'm going to do it is I'm actually going to do it in order of how you would cleanse. So yesterday I mentioned where you would start, and you would start in your lymphatics, you would start in your skin. Today the next step would be actually looking at your kidneys. So you want to do it in a particular order, because if you start going away and cleansing your liver and really pushing your liver and doing all of that, you have no idea where that stuff is going, and if it's going into your kidneys and your kidneys are doing their job properly, or if it's going into the bowel and your bowel is doing its job properly, or maybe your gallbladder isn't, properly producing the bile to help you excrete through the bowel. So it's really important to focus on each one of these individually, and then work out a plan and just get a couple of habits in place, and then do it one at a time, see how you go. So today we're actually going to focus in on your kidneys. Now your kidneys are so important for filtering blood, taking out toxins, cleansing the body. They're really, really important, and they're actually quite neglected. We don't really tend to think about the kidneys, and they can be the first thing that can get a little bit sluggish. Things when we get cold, when we get that cold lower back, that can cause our kidneys to get a little bit sluggish. When we drink lots of alcohol, it can really put a strain on those kidneys. When we have lots of coffee, when we have lots of acidic foods, even when you have too many alkalized foods, it can just change the way our kidneys start filtering. It can change the way our kidneys start working. And they're very important for regulating fluid, regulating electrolytes, regulating all those balances in the body. Some signs that your kidneys might not be working. Gout, for example, is an increase in uric acid in the body, and so that's an indication that maybe your kidneys aren't getting rid of the uric acid that it needs to get rid of. Another sign will be fluid retention. Fluid retention, particularly in the lower part of the body. Are the kidneys doing their job? What the kidneys are meant to do. They have little tubules that run very close to the blood vessels, and they kind of keep the balance that way. They keep the electrolytes, the potassium, the magnesium, the sodium in wonderful balance in the blood, taking out water when they need to, putting water back when they need to, and really focusing on keeping that homeostasis. So that's why they're just so important. So water retention can be a sign. Also kidney stones. If you have kidney stones, that's a sign that maybe something in your diet is not suiting you. Maybe your detoxification systems aren't working effectively. And so you're getting this buildup of uric acid in the body. You're getting these buildup of stones in the body. They could be calcium stones. They could be building up due to mineral deficiency. But you really need to work on, if you do have stones, you need to work on cleansing, and you need to work on getting your kidneys fired up and working effectively, and not slowing down and getting tired. Also a build-up of ammonia in the body. Urea is what's passed in the urine, and that is a byproduct of one of the cleansing agents of ammonia. And I will talk about that a bit actually. I'll touch on it now, because I've noticed that a lot of people watching this, a lot of people following me actually have methylation issues, and I get a lot of questions about MTHFR, which is a methylation issue. And I've done a few Facebook Lives on MTHFR, but I wanted to show you the importance of kidneys and having MTHFR. So your kidneys, it's very important. Your kidneys, one of their jobs is to cleanse byproducts and turn it into urea, and out it goes through the kidneys, through the bladder, and you excrete it. One of those byproducts, ammonia, can actually be built up due to having the genetic anomaly of MTHFR. Because what MTHFR essentially does, it slows down certain methylation processes in the body, one of them being over here, the detoxification of ammonia. So if you have MTHFR, it's very likely that you'll have an excess of ammonia in the body, unless your kidneys, your liver, your bowel, your gallbladder are all working beautifully. But we know with MTHFR that's not the case. With MTHFR, it's very likely you've got gallbladder issues. And also with MTHFR, it's very likely that the kidney is having to overwork because of this excess ammonia. When we get excess ammonia, we get a buildup of glutamate. Glutamate actually is excitatory neurotransmitter, and that can cause anxiety, it can cause ADD, ADHD kind of symptoms, it can cause insomnia, it can just cause low dopamine on the brain. So there's lots of things, low serotonin. So it's really important we get the kidneys under control so they can actually regulate the balance of ammonia within your body, whether you're MTHFR or not. That leads me very nicely into one thing I did want to talk to you about today. One very important thing is water. So water is, you know, we have to have water for hydration, H2O. We need that. We need that to cleanse our system. We need it to keep our cells alive. We need it for hydration. It gives us life. But what the issue is, especially here in Sydney, is we could put ammonia into the water, especially in places with long pipes. I'm not 100% sure which councils do it, but it does happen here in Australia where there's long pipes going from water sanitary place to a home. So this ammonia in the water will exacerbate your kidney cleanse system. It will exacerbate MTHFR and cause a buildup of ammonia. It means that your kidneys are having to work overtime, particularly if you're drinking lots and lots of tap water. So it's very important if you've got any kidney problems, if you've got any detoxification problems, if you're suffering any symptoms of high ammonia, such as brain fog, such as fatigue, such as high glutamate, such as adrenal fatigue, insomnia, any of those symptoms, it's important that the water you drink is filtered. Filter the chlorine out. Filter out the ammonia, because you need to give your kidneys really beautifully mineralized water without the things that it's trying to detoxify. If you're drinking 2 liters of tap water a day and yours has been it's had ammonia added to it to actually make it so it's suitable to drink, it means that you've now got 2 liters of water going into your kidneys, and your kidneys like, whoa, I've got all this ammonia. They're having to work overtime. They can't do their other things. You'll be using up B vitamins. You'll be using up amino acids, cysteine, taurine, glutamine. All of those amino acids will be used in this process. You'll be getting excess glutamate, so the more you drink, the more anxious you might get. So it's very important to make sure that you're drinking filtered water. I know I do harp on about filtered water, and there's a few different connections. We've got the connection between water and chlorine, water and ammonia, causing problems with your methylation cycle, particularly if you've got MTHFR. We've got problems if you've got pipes and they've got copper in, or they've got any heavy metals in. And that's a problem again if you've got pyrols, if you've got low zinc, if you've got high copper. If you're estrogen dominant, you need to be careful. And then thirdly, we've got the issue with fluoride. Fluoride is a halogen, and that can actually impede your thyroid by blocking iodine in the body. Iodine is essential for your immune system, is essential for your thyroid health. So there's a number of different reasons I talk to you about drinking filtered water, but today I just want you to be aware that water may have ammonia added. It definitely has chloride added. Some places have fluoride added, but that ammonia, it's meant to sanitize the water, which it does, but that causes a methylation issue in the body. So as well, if you're a parent and you've got kids with ADD, ADHD, any of those things, I would highly recommend filtered water. It's very, very important. You can buy just normal jug filters, anything that's got the charcoal-y kind of thing to filter it out. And then if you want to get some nicer filters, you can add in some remineralizations, that kind of thing. So I really would recommend that for you and your family, just as a side note. So other things that actually can cause ammonia, and this is a kind of like a double-edged sword. When we have MTHFR, it can also cause a buildup of parasites, candida, because we can't methylate and kill them properly. Plus the gallbladder is not working effectively, and those things in the gut can cause ammonia buildup. So probiotics are very important as well. So why your kidneys need cleansing. Signs that your kidneys need cleansing might be gout, might be water retention, fatigue, lower back pain, knee pain, skin problems, itchy skins, high ammonia, urine that's very cloudy or smelly. That's very, very important. So what we want to do is we want to give the kidneys what they need so they can help excrete the toxins and help with circulation, help with fluid balance in the body. So that's why circulation's also very important. So making sure that you're moving so you get the blood pumping, because what we want is essentially we want each bit of blood that's pumping around your veins to be going near the kidneys so they can do their thing, so that your kidneys can take toxins out, pop electrolytes back, pop some water back in, and it's kind of this to and froing that's going on all day, every day. So things that I love for the kidneys, nettle is something that's wonderful for the kidneys. So you can drink nettle tea if you don't have fresh nettles. 2 to 3 cups of nettle tea a day is wonderful to cleanse the kidneys. Fresh nettles, you can make a nettle dip. When I go back to the UK to see my family, when nettles are in season, I went back last summer, I made this beautiful nettle dip. I put in some olive oil, I put in some cashew, some salt and pepper, squeeze of lemon juice, like half a lemon, and then I put in actually some nettles that I had just steamed off lightly, just steam them off very lightly, and then you blend that all together and it made just a beautiful dip. And also the benefit of nettles. Nettles actually are high in 2 other things. They're high in serotonin, so they're wonderful for depression, and they're super high in silica. So the little glassy things on the edge of the nettles, that's actually made of silica, the bit that stings you. So you're getting all that silica, which is great for your skin, great for your hair, your nails, your bones. So they do have a number of different benefits for you. So either do the nettle tea, a couple of cups of nettle tea a day, or get some fresh nettles and steam them off with some garlic, make a nice dip, or put some in your green smoothie every day. So that's definitely a recommendation with the nettles. And then I love dandelion leaf as well. So you can get dandelion leaf tea. It's a light diuretic, and what this does is it just helps movement in your kidneys. It just helps fluid to go through your kidneys. So I also would recommend that as well. Dandelion leaf tea or burdock, even dandelion itself, the bitter dandelion root. All of these just help to move fluid through the kidneys and help re-establish electrolyte balance and just nourish those kidneys as well as the bladder. Always make sure you're getting electrolytes as well. So we've talked about good quality water. Make sure you're getting good quality water, and particularly if you're going through some stressful periods, if there's a lot of stress in your life, you might want to add a little pinch of Himalayan or Celtic sea salt, some natural sea salt to the drinking water, just to give you a little bit more of an electrolyte going on there. So I would highly recommend that as well. Celery is absolutely wonderful for the kidneys. So I pop celery into my green smoothies. Really helps to nourish them and helps to restore them. Celery is really high in electrolytes and minerals as well, so that's why it would help them as a lot. And then there's berries. So berries are wonderful. Berries are full of polyphenols, which are a wonderful antioxidants. Polyphenols work as prebiotic for good bacteria, so that would be great in the bowel, but also the urethra and in the bladder, all other places. So those polyphenols are an amazing antioxidant. They're great for the immune system, great for brain health, but great for the kidneys as well. So we've got berries, we've got cherries as well. Cherries are wonderful, and also cranberries. So cranberries are amazing, and it is difficult to get those. I don't always see cranberries, but when you do see them, or if you see them on special at the store, if you do see them, my advice is to buy some, cook them up. So cook them up in some water to soften them out nicely. You're looking at about 35 minutes to cook them up, and so you make sort of like a bit of a jam. If you need to add a wee bit of sugar, you can add some honey or some maple syrup. And then store that in the freezer. You could freeze that and you can pop that in your green smoothies. You can make kind of desserts with it. So I do recommend that because cranberries are wonderful. Cranberries are actually so nutritive for the kidneys, so high in vitamin C, which is great for the adrenals as well, which sit near the kidneys. But also they've got this really cool substance that coats the urethra and protects it from Klebsiella bacteria, which can cause UTIs. And so it also has a couple of different functions there. So if you do get recurrent UTIs, you might want to do that as well. Other foods are great. Beetroot is wonderful for kidney cleansing, so you can make yourself a beetroot juice a day. And also seaweed. Seaweed's got some great minerals in that help as well. So definitely going with those foods, adding those foods in, and just making sure you're looking after your kidneys, making sure that you're giving it the right fluid, giving them the foods you need to be giving them, and also. I always like to think of the Chinese traditional medicines kind of way, and they look at the kidneys. You know, in cold weather, if you're fatigued, if you're feeling cold, keep warm, have the soups, have the broths. Those are all wonderful for the kidneys. You know, in summer, you don't want to overheat. You want to make sure that the kidneys aren't getting too hot. You want to make sure you're not overstressing the kidneys. Kidneys can make you feel fatigued, so you just want to be careful there. And one of the number one rules when it comes to the kidneys is you've got to keep your blood sugar balanced. If you don't keep your blood sugar balanced, it's going to cause some issues with the kidneys because they're constantly having to do their work and they're having to filter the blood. And also what can happen is you get less excretion of the urea. And so you might be going more frequently, but also there might be other things coming out in the urine like glucose and that kind of thing. So you need to be aware there. Another thing is it draws on more potassium. So it draws on potassium from your blood, goes into the urine to make it too alkalized. Your urinated out, so it's not killing off any bacteria that might need to at the end of the urethra. But also it's changing the balance of electrolytes in your body. So blood sugar levels are really vital. You keep your blood sugar levels stable to actually support your kidneys detoxification process. If your blood sugar levels are fluctuating, you're going to have electrolytes going up and down, you're going to feel fatigued. Your urine output's going to change quite significantly from frequent to none at all to being sugary to being. So you do need to be aware there to keep your blood sugar levels nice and steady. I mean, that's one of the number one things when it comes to your health anyway. But to know it actually supports your kidneys, it's important to know that. So we've actually gone through quite a lot today. We've talked about. Oh, hi Kelly, how's it going? Yeah, look, in TCM, they really, and Ayurvedic medicine as well. I love my yoga teacher. She talks about the Ayurvedic principles and what you should be doing. But definitely with kidneys, you want to be thinking of kidneys. You kind of need to protect your kidneys in a way. You don't want to be putting too much pressure on them. You don't want to be suddenly overloading them with lots of sugary food, lots of cold food. You don't want to be, if you're feeling cold and under the weather, maybe don't go for that swim. Maybe do something like some warm yoga stretches or something like that. So just being aware that they do sit on the lower back. And I remember being told years ago about, you know, when it was a fashion to wear, I remember when it was a fashion to wear tops that kind of didn't cover your belly, so they didn't cover your lower back. And in winter in the UK, all the girls used to go out like that and get colds and get sick. And I remember TCM practitioners saying, it's, you know, they need to keep their kidneys nice and warm, cover up the back, kind of just protect those kidneys because they can be quite fragile if you're not looking after them. So just doing that, and the broths, the benefit of the broths as well are the electrolytes. So particularly if you've made a nice chicken broth, I made a nice chicken broth the other day, and I kept it slow cooking for 20 hours. So you're getting the calcium, you're getting the phosphorus, you're getting the magnesium, the manganese, the zinc, all of those beautiful minerals from the bones, plus the sodium, and small amounts of that, they just help your kidneys to maintain that electrolyte balance. Because it's keeping your blood electrolyte balance is one of the most important things, and your body will do anything it needs to do to keep that balance. And so that's why in other areas it might, you know, you might find you get water retention. You know, your kidneys are trying to keep this balance, so they might be putting sodium elsewhere. It's a very fine line, and so your kidneys will really try to keep that balance. But if you help them along and give them the right water, the right electrolytes in a nice fluid, in a soup, in stews, that kind of thing, that will really help. I also know that You know, if you tend to get UTIs, or you tend to get kidney infections, or you get lower back pain or knee pain, which could be, you know, cold kidneys, doing a barley stew, a barley soup, or a barley tea helps. These are all things with potassium in, so potassium does help and nourish your kidneys. So even fruits with a bit of potassium, and that's why celery is so fantastic, because it's high in these electrolytes. I've actually put on the email going out today, so I mentioned at the beginning of this, but for those of you that are just tuning in, this was just a 2-day cleanse reboot, but I'm actually changing it. So today I talked about kidneys, and I'm actually going to do a few more days because I want to add in, it's too much to pop into one Facebook. So today we focus on kidneys. I really want to focus on bowel, do want to focus on the liver, and I also want to focus on the gallbladder as well, because I know a lot of you with MTHFR maybe aren't aware of the importance of the gallbladder and actually the impact that has. And with MTHFR conditions, your gallbladder does need support. So we're going to do an organ each day. So this was day 2 of the cleanse reboot. If you've got any questions about kidney health, if you've got any questions about nourishing your kidneys, please post them below. In today's email that got sent out, if you signed up to the free cheat sheet and recipes, we talk a little bit about kidney, and I also give a little kidney elixir tonic in today's email. So if you want to get that kidney elixir tonic and you want to get the free cheat sheet, you can just sign up in the link above and that will get emailed to you. And it's actually going to be going, the cleanse reboot's going to be going on for a few more days, so there will be some more emails for you. What if your gallbladder's gone? Hey, Jackie. So we will talk about that a little bit more, but if your gallbladder's not there, then the focus needs to be on the liver, and the focus needs to be on things that are going to help your digestion, help the breakdown. So the bile helps the breakdown of food. The bile helps us excrete toxins via the bowel. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that we're allowing our body to rest between feeds, so we're not eating all the time. We allow our body to rest, and we make sure that our liver's working really well. And even having something, Jackie, like a little bit of a bitter tonic prior to eating, like a little bit of dandelion tea, a little bit of apple cider vinegar in water, or something to actually support your digestion before you eat. A bitter tonic will actually help with digestion. So what we want to do, normally your liver would produce bile, it would go and get stored into the gallbladder, and then the gallbladder would pump that out when it needs to pump that out. It might pump bile out when it thinks there's an invasion of a bacteria, when it needs to digest more food, when it needs to take away toxins. So with that in mind, we need to help your body do all of those things that all of that bile would do. But definitely not having a gallbladder doesn't have to be an issue as long as you're supporting your liver, Jackie. So we will talk about that more. Tomorrow we're going to talk about the bowel, and then we'll talk about the liver and the gallbladder maybe together. Depends how much I decide I'm going to chat about. So, but we will go into that more, Jackie, and I'll make sure that you get the emails as well, and anything else that I add in about the gallbladder for you. So I hope you enjoyed today. Thanks, Jackie, for joining. Thanks for your question. Thanks, Kelly, for joining as well. Have a lovely day. Enjoy the sunshine, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.